Let's talk about something a lot of women whisper about, if they talk about it at all: painful sex. That sharp sting, that big intake of breath, that dry ache, the moment your body clenches instead of opening, and your internal voice is saying, WTF. It's called dyspareunia, and it's incredibly common during the menopausal journey. But just because it's common doesn't mean you have to live with it, right? In today's episode, we're breaking the silence around painful intercourse. I'll walk you through why it happens, what you can do medically and maybe therapeutically, and how you can start your journey back to pain free, connected intimacy. So let's dive in. I'd like to welcome you all to MenoSpark, the podcast that helps women reignite their spark through perimenopause and beyond with a focus on holistic health. I'm your host, Allie. I'm a board certified sexologist, menopause care provider, integrative wellness coach, and your go to guide for navigating the wild, weird, and wonderful ride that is midlife. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to hit that follow button so you never miss an episode. And if you're returning, thank you for being a part of this amazing community. Additionally, if you're feeling stuck and want some personalized support to get your energy, libido, maybe your overall wellness back on track, please visit Menopause Wellness and explore my 30-minute integrated wellness consult. It's like a menopause reset button, and who doesn't need one of those? I hope you all are doing well. I'm still looking for guests for the Spark sessions, and I want to apologize as well as looking for guests. I am way behind in looking at the submissions thus far. Um, I drastically underestimated this year in my PhD studies and how much homework I would have. Drastically. Did not look at it like I should have. So I have a lot more than I thought I would. July, it's going to ease up, and I'm going to be able to breathe again for the first time in 2025. So July is really when I'm going to start looking through everything and booking people for the fall. All right. So please sign up if you'd like to be a part of a Spark session. If you are a professional who help midlife women, or if you're a midlife female, or that would like to talk about your menopausal journey thus far. Right. Right. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about painful intercourse and finding relief because your desire shouldn't hurt, right? I had a client, and her husband, they'd been married for, I think she said about going on 30 years. So basically, they got married right after they graduated high school. And they've always been wildly attracted to one another. Their sex life has been wonderful, always bumps in the beginning, but they got to where they're both extremely happy with their intimate time. And then she entered perimenopause, and the vaginal dryness started. And it shocked both of them. It did. He thought she wasn't as attracted to him as she used to be. And of course, that hurt his feelings greatly. She thought, well, maybe I'm not as attracted to him as I used to be, but I know I am. I don't get it. So she was questioning herself, her relationship, and her sanity. And what this is, as her and I were talking, I told her about painful sex and how the vagina, she's angry, man. She is an angry vagina when you hit perimenopause. And once we talked it out, and I talked to her husband as well, they found a path forward with my help, and their sex life is back on track, and it's just as good as it ever was, although a little different than it used to be. So let's talk about this painful sex. Why does it show up in midlife? So that the word I called it earlier in the opening hook, the I can never say it twice in a row. Dyspareunia. Okay, dyspareunia. That's the clinical term for pain during intercourse, right? Whether that pain happens at the entrance, deep inside, or even after sex. You ever have your vagina like it's having a contraction and that pain goes through you? You're included in this. Um, And for many women in midlife, it can creep on slowly, or by God, just like just about everything else in menopause, it all hits at once. As the estrogen declines during menopause, the vaginal walls become thinner, drier, and less elastic. This makes penetration uncomfortable or downright painful. And let me tell you something about these vaginal walls. When the estrogen's leaving and she's drying up and getting pretty angry, not only do the walls flatten, we had some ridges, we had ridges in there. They flatten, they dry, they get thin, they tear, they bleed. Not only all of that, but she also shrinks lengthwise. So if during intercourse uh, your partner wasn't hitting your cervix, they can hit your cervix during menopause. All right, just it's just something to keep in mind. All right. What else is going on? So your pelvic floor muscles, they can become weaker, or in some cases, they tense and lock up, especially if your body's bracing for pain and it has been bracing for pain for a while. Some women also have other conditions, of course, like endometriosis, fibroids, or inflammation. That also makes intimacy painful. And of course, there's the emotional side of trauma. Past trauma, relationship stress, body image concerns can also cause your body to shut down even when your mind wants to connect. And I'm telling you what, usually all this happens at once. It's not really just one, it seems to be a lot. Um, Unfortunately, during my journey through menopause and perimenopause and postmenopause and my talking to other women, and I at this point in time I've talked to thousands of women about their journey, and about 98.5 to 99% of these women have some sort of sexual trauma in their background, some sort. And that upsets me to no realm. I mean, it just does. And I'm included in that 99%, by the way. Um, it angers me to no end that so many women have had to suffer this trauma because of somebody else. All right. So the key takeaway of this part of the podcast is pain during sex isn't just part of getting older. It's a signal that your body needs support, not shame. So there are solutions, of course, real evidence-based solutions that can help you reclaim pleasure. You have localized estrogen therapy, and these are usually the first line. They're vaginal creams. They can come in a ring or tablets that deliver a low dose of estrogen right where you need it. They can help restore moisture, thickness, pH balance, making sex more comfortable and your vagina much happier over time. They're considered safe for most women, um, even some with a history of hormonal sensitive cancers. But always, always, and forever, check with your provider. Okay. Then we have DHEA suppositories. Um, DHEA is a hormone that your body converts into estrogen and testosterone. These suppositories are inserted vaginally and it can help with dryness, lubrication, and overall tissue health. I'll tell you, I personally do not use a suppository, but I do use DHEA supplement. Okay. And of course, doing anything is going to require you talking to a provider as well. Please don't forget that. This third thing, and I can't pronounce it. I can't pronounce it, but I'll add it to the resources below in the show's notes. This is a non-hormonal oral pill that acts like estrogen in the vaginal tissue. It's great for postmenopausal women looking for an alternative to traditional estrogen therapy. And I've been considering taking this pill as well. I just haven't pulled the plug, so to speak, yet, or pulled the plug, pulled the cord on it because it's not really good for those who have blood clots in their family. And unfortunately, on my father's side, they are a blood clot. Um, I would say paradise. I'd say a blood clot warning. So I need. That's why I haven't been on any hormones yet. At 58, I've been on nothing. I'll probably stay that way, but I am looking into this particular pill, which is below in the show's notes. And of course, we have exams and imaging. And do not, I repeat, do not let a provider tell you it's all in your head. Okay? That's what you say, F you. I would never say F you to their face, but I'd say, yeah. I would never go back to that provider. I would find a new one that listened to me. Okay? If you're in pain, ask for a full pelvic exam. And I'm not going to lie, that pelvic exam's going to hurt if your vagina is already angry. All right. But it's important to do that to rule out anything else that may be going on. And again, I'll remind you, I just said it, but I'll say it again. If a doctor dismisses your pain, it is time for a new doctor. Find someone trained in menopause care or pelvic health. And I'll tell you, only 35% of the medical schools teach about menopause. Okay, 35% of the world's medical schools teach about menopause. This started about 5 years ago, and we are a weekend seminar. Did you get that? Over half the population of this earth are women, and we are a weekend seminar. Just think about that for a second. So, there are also therapeutic and holistic support tools. We have pelvic floor physical therapy, which does wonders. If your muscles are weak, tight, or guarding, a trained pelvic floor therapist can help you retrain your body to relax and respond to pleasure, not pain. And this, I'm not going to lie, this can feel a whole lot of awkward to start with, but it is powerful work. Okay. If you're not ready to jump in with a physical therapist for pelvic floor health, maybe go to Amazon, find yourself a book, Barnes and Noble, an independent publisher, wherever you might want to shop at, find yourself a book on pelvic floor health. All right. Then we have trauma enforced therapy because pain can be a symptom of unprocessed trauma, especially sexual trauma. And what did I say earlier about the women I talked to? 98.5 to 99%, give or take, have been through some sort of sexual trauma. A somatic or body based therapist can help you reconnect gently and safely. Of course, we have lubricants and vaginal moisturizers. The silicone based lubricants, they have a longer lasting glide to them, but they're sticky and they do not go well at all with sex toys. You'll damage your sex toys if you use silicone on silicone. Okay. Um, you can use some CBD lubes, which work wonders, like Quim, Quim, I believe it's spelled. You can look it up online. Um, but the CBD lubes, they last a bit. They last a bit longer, and the CBD oil helps with the pain. Okay. And remember, there's no THC in in CBD. All right. Um, but probably most of you are not school bus drivers. I'm an ex-school bus driver, so I know that if you do drive a school bus and you get drug tested, do not take the CBD lubes, okay? Because they can show up. Just an FYI. Use a vaginal moisturizer. Try one with hyaluronic acid for a hormone-free solution because moisturizers help improve hydration in your angry vagina. Okay? And then of course we have energy and emotional healing. If you're drawn to holistic tools, maybe you might want to use some flower essences. That helps build trust and emotional safety. Essential oils like clary sage or maybe some ylang ylang. You can journal or maybe go to somebody for energy work to reconnect with your sensuality. How about some couples communication coaching? Okay, sometimes the hardest part of all this is telling your partner, this hurts, right? So, coaching or therapy can help both partners understand the issue without shame or pressure. You do not have to suffer in silence or fake it. Okay? If painful sex has stolen your desire or make you question your body, I want you to hear this. You are not broken, you are healing. Midlife does not mark the end of intimacy. It can be a powerful rebirth, but it starts by listening to your body and choosing to honor your needs. Relief is possible, pleasure is possible, and connection can feel good again. So, whether you start with a new lube, a doctor's visit, a pelvic floor therapist, or maybe just a conversation with your partner, start someplace. The first step is always the hardest, but you are worth that effort. I'll repeat, you are worth the effort. So, for those of you who like to do journaling, I have a journal prompt for you, and this is also below in the show's notes. If I believed my body was worthy of pleasure, what would I do differently? Okay, write that down. Sit with it for a while. Let it guide you to write out your answer. Your spark didn't just disappear. It's just waiting for you to stop surviving and start reconnecting. Until next time, I want you to really take care of that beautiful self. And I know we talked about an uncomfortable topic today, painful intercourse. But I want you to remember, you are not imagining your symptoms. You deserve support, not skepticism. It's okay to ask for what you need and to let go of needing permission to validate your experience. If today's episode hit home, I see you. I've been there, and I promise there is a way forward. Please do not walk this road alone. You are worthy of healing, connection, and joy. I want to thank you for hanging out with me here on MenoSpark today. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you found this helpful, please share it with a friend, leave a review, and make sure you're subscribed. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and my Substack, The Menopausal Minute, for even more tips, tricks, and inspiration. That's usually my snarky one. My Substack, The Menopausal Minute, is all about midlife menopause, the snarky version. And if no one's told you this today, let me be the first to say it. You are fabulous. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Until next time, keep that spark alive. You deserve it.